The more you talk about lucid dreaming, the more you share it, the more your brain and your subconscious start realizing it might be important for you, and you might see that the result pretty quickly.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Onion Soup. Today we have with us Mr. Verdickt. How you doing today?
Not too bad. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on. So I'm truly excited, and every time we have someone such as yourself on the show to talk about this, I get so happy because it's more my favorite topic: lucid dreaming. So let's just dive right into it. And one thing I want to ask right off the bat is, what are dreams? People ask me this all the time. What are dreams? Where do they come from?
Oh, this is a very good question, very philosophical. And it depends on your belief system. But whenever I'm just going to take like a more scientific approach, when it comes to dream, every day we go to our bed, we relax, we chill, and we get ready to go to a little death, which is whenever we sleep. We just need our body to get restored, to refresh. But before going to the non-REM sleep, so as we call in French, the paradoxical sleep, we go through different stages. So we go first to a light type of sleep, which is even called like the hypnagogic. So when you start like closing your eyes, getting dozing off a little bit, then you go to the light sleep, then you go to a deeper sleep, and then you go to a non-REM sleep, which is where the dreams happen. And this is where, all your subconscious will talk to you. And I think it's how I would describe a dream is your subconscious being on steroid, being like showing you everything you want to know or everything you don't want to know. It's why you got images, sensation, memories coming back to you. Then in other culture, dreams it can also be a door or a portal to another world, to be in contact with the invisible. So it really depends on the type of school of thought that you want to believe in. I do believe that there is a way to connect with yourself when you're in your dreams, just being really cheering with who you are. Because in your day-to-day life, you can lie with already, to have our own persona, our own mark, our own way of behaving with some people. But in your dreams, I think is the only place where you cannot lie. We are who we dream or what we dream, actually. So I think it's really the place when you can truly be yourself. Sometimes during the day, you might say, "Oh, I'm not really jealous about this person," but in your dream, you're actually going to reveal who you are. So this is how we would define what are dreams: the place where you are yourself.
Interesting. So, if our dreams are basically a window into our subconscious, and when we lucid dream, we are more aware in that window, in that field, how can we utilize that in order to, I guess, achieve a higher level of personal growth?
I think a lot of people have become more interested about lucid dream. I don't know if you've noticed that. You've got more people talking about it, showing some practices. There are different techniques. I don't know if you want to ask about it too. But I think in terms of personal growth, it goes in different stage because in order to be lucid to your dream, you need to put the intention. And one of my teacher, Charlie Morley, mentioned that his teacher said that the reason to become more lucid to your dream is to be more aware of what you do during your day-to-day life. And when you're more aware, you're more lucid. And when you're more lucid, you're more kind. So this is how you can use the practice of in your day-to-day life, being aware of your breathing, because breathing is super important to manage your autonomous system when managing your emotion, but also be more aware about how you behave, how you interact, how things, the little things can happen, because it's how you can become more lucid to your dream. What are the things that happen in your day-to-day life, which are a little bit surreal, that will make you more prepared when you are in a dream state and being like, oh, am I dreaming? Am I not dreaming? It's the question that many lucid dreamer would do actually, just to be more aware during the daytime. But then in order to have personal growth, I think when you're able to face your shadow, when you're able to face your deepest fear, or are able to be your true self, or being able to accept your big dreams. Sometimes people are scared or do not dare to dream big. I think can really grow is really when you face adversity or when you face something that can be or is actually unachievable that you can really grow. But I think this is really a lot of people use lucid dream to be a bit, also to heal their trauma or go back to the past and heal their inner child or revisit a situation that was unbearable at the time or very difficult to explain during a psychotherapy session. And just having this experience with the lucid dream can help them to grow. I believe that it's also just not about being self-centered and not just using lucid dream to almost like a prisoner in your own world. It's also about how can you go and meet other people as you do to talk about the dream, not just about your own dream, but the dream for a world, for a better world. So again, linking back to the idea of having a kinder world where everyone is in harmony with who they really are. Because the idea of dreaming is not just for you to become something, it's for you to be part of something. This is why I think you can achieve a better growth, not just by realizing who you are, but realizing who you are in harmony with others.
I love that. You know, recently I was reading about lucid dreaming, and the more lucid and aware you are in your dreams, the more lucid and aware you are in your waking life. You can actually, just like the way you can manipulate things in your dreams, not you can manipulate things in the real world the same way as you can in a dream, but you do have a stronger level of influence. So you mentioned techniques. What are these techniques that people can use to really develop their lucid dreaming abilities?
There are a few of them, but one of my favorite is the dream plan. Generally in life, whenever you want to do something, you need to have a plan. You need to be ready for this. And in this book, what's his name again? Darian Leader, he wrote this book called Why We Can't Sleep,
Mm.
which is a very good book, actually. And in his book, he explained how our sleep has changed so much since the Industrial Revolution. And one of the very key facts is the fact that we breathe even faster than what we used to pre-industrialization. I think it used to be 4 breaths for 1 minute, and I think we are around 15 breaths for 1 minute, which means that we keep activating our autonomous nervous system, which is pretty bad because we're always in the alert. On this. But the idea is, first of all, having a better breath, being more conscious about who you are, where you are, and being really centered because we are bombarded with advertising, we're bombarded with bad news, we're bombarded with stress demands from everywhere. And I think just this practice of being centered during meditation or just being centered and having a slower breathing will help you definitely. But the dream plan is about connecting both sides of the brain, the left and the right, the creative and the logical one, and just putting into a paper and using your creative side and dream and just drawing yourself in a situation that you would like to be. Whenever you have dreams or whenever you start like being more interested about your dreams, you might have noticed that you have some kind of topics or scene or people or type of situation that keeps reoccurring. So you might just start drawing something that you know that whenever you are in this situation, you are dreaming. One of mine was, I think it happened for at least 10 years where I was at university and I went back to the secretary and then she keeps saying, oh, by the way, you never passed your exam. You don't have your master's. And I remember one day I was like, no, I know it's a dream because I know I've got it. And the day before I checked, I had my master's degree. So basically just drawing a situation that you know you are in a dream or a situation that you would like to be. Sorry, again, looking back to what I said about potentially like healing yourself or being in a situation where you will want to be. So using this creative stuff and just letting yourself go. It's not about drawing perfectly or drawing something like Picasso or something like this. It's just letting yourself go. One side of the plan is about drawing, letting yourself go and using your creative side. And the other side is about using your logic bit. It's about what would you like to do in this dream? And this is very important because I do believe many people though about energy. But whenever you have trauma, whenever you have something that has hurt you, a part of yourself is gone. But this part of yourself is generally energy. So this is why when people have something very traumatic, they might go into a deep freeze situation that might lead them to have something which is missing. And in some tradition, it's about a piece of your soul which is gone. So when some scientific have studied the process of trauma, they've realized that something else is missing, some element of energy that makes them much more tired. That's why a lot of people, when they are in depression, they have something missed, which is energy. So whether it's a piece of your soul or energy, something is missing. But for me, when I use the dream plan as a therapeutic way, I try to write something that will help me to get back my energy. Obviously, people use the dream plan for different purposes, but when I use that with my client, it's mainly about using the creative side, drawing, but using the logic side about in order to get back this energy. So it's more about what would you like to say to yourself or to the person who hurt you or to a situation that was humiliating, frustrating, stressful? How would you like to claim back your energy, basically? And I think it's very powerful because you're the only one who can take back your energy, not the person who has stolen that from you. You are the only one. That's how I use the dream plan, using the creative side, the logic side, and using it in order to get back your energy with you being fully conscious about what you intend to get back.
Wow. So when someone sits down to do this, to really get their minds in, we will call hemisync. So when someone sits down to do this, how long does this process take? And what I mean by that, does somebody sit down and draw everything out and have the logical ideas behind it, and then boom, that night they're going to have a dream about it? Or is it a week or two? What does this process look like on average?
When it comes to lucid dream, I think it's a very exciting world when you talk about dreams. But the thing is, you cannot control it. You never know when you're going to have a lucid dream. Haven't had a lucid dream for a couple of months. Part of it is because I'm not intending to have some. You never guarantee it. But one of the good things, the more you talk about lucid dreaming, the more you share it, the more your brain and your subconscious start realizing it might be important for you. And you might see that the result pretty quickly. So there is no set of, or you're going to do that for a couple of days and boom, you're going to be listening to your dream on the following day. So the unconscious cannot really control it. So it's really come and go. It will come, I believe, whenever it's needed. But the more you are practicing natural breathing, the more you are aware that you would like to be listening to your dream. Another very easy technique is before going to bed, when you are in this hypnagogic state, just when you close your eyes. Another very easy technique is just to remember yourself, I would like to be lucid tonight. I would like to be lucid in my dream. Just repeating again and again. No guarantee. The more you practice, the more you discipline, the more you get density and the better result it is. So sorry, I don't have a clear answer about when. So practice that you need
Yeah, no,
to.
actually, I really like that because that was really the answer I was looking for because a lot of people want this defined. If I do this for 3 nights straight, then I'm gonna have a lucid dream. No, that's not how it works, unfortunately. But
And the problem, no, I was going to say the problem we are also in a society when we want everything quickly. We don't want to be patient. The patient is the biggest virtue you can have, especially when you try to improve yourself. When trying to grow, no one can grow from infancy to the wise man. You need to go through a couple of steps, and the subconscious knows better than us. So I think it's very important for us to allow process to happen. We are in society also where everything needs to be fixed quickly. Like whenever you have a back pain and you have paracetamol, when you have something, healing takes time. Healing takes time.
so you mentioned a few times about the importance of deep breathing and slowing your breathing down. Can you go a little bit deeper into what deep breathing is and why it is so important?
The slower you breathe, the better you are in control of yourself. And it's something I've noticed when I am in like a call with colleagues. I would have to speak. I used to speak super fast. And I couldn't make up my mind, or I couldn't make the right sentences. So sometimes I need to have a sight and just being able just to calm myself. And I think it's just the first thing we do when we come to this planet, and the last thing we will do. There is no need to rush. And when I do hypnosis with my client, is the first thing I just do. I have a background in singing, so first thing that I was told was how to breathe. So, oh, but I won't sing. No, no. First, you need to be able to breathe Get this straight, and then you will be able to sing. The same thing for everything. Everything comes from there. But it's so powerful. Again, you go back to the stat I mentioned about the fact that we breathe much faster. So you can imagine everyone being all the time on alert to the level of adrenaline and cortisol coming into our head and our body. But in order to be quiet and calm and focused, breathing slowly is just being
So it's maybe a year or two ago, I was sitting with this guy and we were talking about meditation and being peaceful. And we were talking about breathing. He asked me rather, do you sing? But yeah, actually, I love to sing. I used to sing in choir. And I just love to sing. He's like, well, I can tell because a lot of singers are actually really good with the breath. So when we're talking about breathing and creativity and the importance of that, because you have to be creative in order to have lucid dreams and stuff like that. Do you think singing would be a really good avenue to get people into that creative mind space and into learning how to breathe more deeply?
It's a very good question. Actually, I don't believe that we are taught to sing naturally.
Mm,
And the reason I'm saying that is very different. I don't think I'm going to answer the question, but I remember when I was taught singing, it was about the breathing, about having the right pitch, knowing the lyrics, obviously. But it's never been about connecting to your body and connect to any part of your body. There are different keys in your body, like your knees, your ankle, G27, if I remember this part, your third eye. Every part of your body is a key or a door that let the energy open. But it's never been about that. It's always been about the technique. How can you be technically good, but not how can you embrace the music with your body being in sync with your breathing and the energy? And I've never been able to let go about how I was singing. It was always constrained. It was always about the projection and the tone and the pitch, but never about taking pleasure and being in sync. So, can people be more, can we use singing to be more lucid or to be more, I think so that was your question. How can we use, but it depends how you teach singing, because singing is a very natural process. Everyone can sing. But it's also about the rhythm. It's about engaging your body. It's engaging the pleasure and not being focusing on the technique, which why we do a lot in the Western world. It's only about the technique. When you when you can just clap and just humming, you are already singing. You're engaging with your body. And I think this is why I found always difficult when I had singing lesson to engage with my soul, my body, my voice, my breathing, the whole thing, not just the technique. And it's only during COVID when I was by myself, I was just able to let go because there was nothing to lose, just able to sing very loud and reaching note I've never dreamed that I could reach, just because I had nothing to lose and I was able to engage with all my body. So yes, but we need to learn to connect with our body because it is our vehicle to live this life. I don't think we are taught to take care correctly of our body. Personally, this is
yeah.
the way.
So how do you connect with your body? If you were able to find some type of bodily connection during COVID, I actually did something very similar during that time period. So how
What
did you
did you
connect?
do?
I actually same thing as similar to you actually, I let go. I was already in the process of letting everything go, right before COVID started. I just decided to, really do a 180 and go the opposite direction of where my life was headed. A lot of people know that my degree is actually in biochemistry, worked in the medical field for over 15 years now, or nearly 15 years now, and I was gonna go get a PhD, and I decided, "No, I don't wanna do any of that." I just went completely left field and decided to start a business and then start my own show and stuff like that. So I dove more deeply into being creative and really started listening to my body and what not really caring so much about what other people were going to think. Lo and behold, everyone that was truly close to me that mattered, they supported what I did. It didn't matter if I either went the science route or the spiritual route. And to the best of my ability, I try to merge the two. So what did you do?
When I was singing, it's gonna sound very crazy, really. I just put a towel on my face and I was just singing there. But because I was, no one can really listen to me. I was just letting go like this. That's something that really helped me because it's almost like you were shouting against a wall without any judgment. It really helped me just to let go with my singing, just going all over the place. And but I think it's also about how do you engage with your body. Just are you aware of your shoulders? Are you aware of your stomach? Are you aware of the touch? When having massage is also something that helped me. I wasn't doing that too much during COVID, but after it, oh, I missed being able to touch someone, touch people were like checking like this, but no real connection. And I think because I missed it during COVID, I was craving for it. So I was having a bit more massage, having the sensation about how my body was reacting to specific touch. And I was doing also some courses on kinesiology and biodynamic, where the body is super engaged, overly engaged. It's about how do you reconnect with the memory of your in your body, because your body keeps so much memory about trauma, about joy, about pain, but also about your ancestor. In the African culture, uh, the fifth element is minerals, but not minerals as water, but minerals as your bones. Within your bones that have all the memory of your ancestors, like basically all your DNA, not your DNA, but a lot of memories is there. And I just realized that how important our skin is. So just about touching yourself in a respectful way, obviously, just listening or just observing. And sometimes when you are discussing with people, you can feel your gut are talking. We all have, but sometimes we are again bombarded about messages, about stress. If you just have the time just to breathe slowly, you will be able to listen more carefully your body. It's, oh, my knees is moving, my eyes is blinking,
Yeah.
my mouth get dry, and just be noticing what your body is telling you. It's super powerful. It's like the body keeps the score. Super interesting book. It tells you exactly what your body holds as information. It's not just our mouth, our words that hold the keys. The body keeps so many things, and this is how combining the both is super important. So I'm trying to be more careful whenever I sense something, whatever it's my hand being wet, eyes being dry, everything. You need to listen to your body.
Wow. I love that. I actually do the exact same thing. I sit back and I try to pay attention to if I'm feeling tense and I relax the areas of my body that feel tense. If I'm breathing way too tightly into my chest and not into my diaphragm, I pay attention to that. I try to pay attention to, like I said, my mouth being dry, make sure to grab some water, right, like I did. And it's also, you said something earlier about slowing down your speech. And that was something that I noticed I did as well. I started to slow down just the way that I
Yeah.
was speaking, and it allowed for the thoughts to flow so much more smoothly and a lot better. And it's just
But you
it's
do have a nice pace. You do have a nice pace. So you do speak in a very nice, calm way, which I should do it because I think today I've been speaking very quickly.
no problem, no worries at all. It's funny, before I got started doing all of this, one of my friends, coworkers at the hospital, he said, "You should start your own show. You should go do something and go speak." I was so terrified of doing it. And which was crazy because back when I was in the military, I would get up and give large presentations all the time. But the idea of doing so in front of potentially hundreds of thousands or millions of eyes at the time was terrifying. But now I'm just, whatever. But Mr. Verdickt, we only have a few minutes left. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience before we go?
I think in this crazy time that we are living in, I think the best thing that I would like the audience to know is just to connect to yourself, but not in a narcissistic, self-centered way. Like I'm going to pose in a yoga position and be like breathing. It's not this type of connection. It's connecting to who you are, but trying to find your place in this world, the right place, because it's connecting to yourself is also connecting to others. That's the right type of connection that we need to have in this world. Not just I connect to myself, I connect to my laptop. That is just the wrong type of connection. It's about connecting to yourself and finding your place among your friend, your family, your colleague, your community. But I think it's the only way we can have a better world because We are going through a very tough time, especially in the US. I think it's everywhere in the world. I think we are moving. There is a shift, and I think everyone has seen the shift since COVID. There is something going on, and I think the only way to go through is just to connect to yourself and to others.
Wow, I love that. And where can people find you?
I am on Substack, so I do have a nice newsletter when I write about the future of work, the psychology, and the philosophy side of our life. They can find me on Substack, Mr. Verdickt. They can find me there and just read my content. And I will also have soon a YouTube channel, but it's not there. But they can find me on your podcast.
Well, also, thank you so much, Mr. Birdie, for coming in. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode of Onion Soup. Please, everybody, have a blessed rest of your day. Bye.